Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Shows, Style, and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course, and as you can see from the title of this video, I want to have like a comprehensive look at the whole discussion surrounding the ratings of Love and Marriage Huntsville and some thoughts that I have had that, I haven't verbalized, and I definitely am inspired to talk about my thoughts after Melody's TikTok live. And shout out to Aquarian TV. Definitely go to Aquarian TV's YouTube channel where you can check out Melody's most recent Instagram live. In a very larger scale, nearly 20 minutes long. Thanks to Aquarian TV for capturing the TikTok live and sharing it with all of us here on YouTube. And definitely subscribe to Aquarian TV if you have not already done so. So I really want to talk about the ratings. And of course, Melody also talks about, Melometers being blamed as a storyline. So now before we get into these topics, you know what I'm going to ask, right? I ask that you please be generous and hit the like button on this video. Even if you're feeling a little negative, it's okay. You hit the dislike button. Either one of those stimulate this video, recommending it to more people who enjoy discussing various topics surrounding Love and Marriage Huntsville. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Shows, Style, and Spirit. I would definitely love to have you as one of the showstoppers. And everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. And the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on these sound bites are allowed. Okay, so I believe, in my opinion, for me, the ratings are such an important topic, such an important thing to monitor, to analyze, to care about. Because this was once a very popular show where a single episode would garner 500,000 viewers. That is huge. And it was on the OWN network. It is on the OWN network. It is OWN's top show, its number one show. With those kind of ratings, that was significant. So now for it to basically barely sometimes get 100,000 viewers, that is a significant drop. And it's too bad that Carlos, he doesn't have really, I guess, the nerve or doesn't really have the stomach to truly acknowledge the dip in ratings. Instead he pinned on his Instagram, it's a portion of an article where it states, like, Love and Marriage Huntsville is experiencing its highest ratings in this demographic. And he only pinned a portion of the article. So you don't know what demographic that particular reporter was writing on. But in any event, Melody is acknowledging the serious issue with the ratings. And she has her theory based upon recent episodes seeing a spike in the ratings of how the show should have gone the first half of season 7/8. She had her own thoughts on how it should be produced, and obviously that was not the case, and she thinks that that is behind the ratings being so low. Before I play her soundbite, I do want to also briefly say, OWN decided not to play an episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville this weekend. She's going to mention that as well. And I think that OWN is trying to do whatever it can, and it is telling itself, oh, yes, we better not run an episode Labor Day weekend because people may be traveling or something. They may miss the episode. And we're not going to air the show for 3 weeks due to the Olympics. Now, I know that it's not unique for some TV shows to not run during the Olympics. But for me, I just think about historical data, normal routines. I just don't remember that 4 years ago, that being a thing. Now, 4 years ago was also 2020. So it was major quarantine all over the world. So that could have played a role as well. But I just wondered if OWN was just trying to do whatever it could to try and help the show's ratings. And we don't know what Carlos may be telling them, like, oh, yeah, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to switch things around, we need to look at scheduling to help the ratings. But no, us viewers, we don't like the bullying, the gang ups. That's always a turn off, never a turn on when watching TV, when watching reality TV. And I don't like the reduced presence of Melody, especially when in her place, it's, brand new people who, Trisha, we all have talked about her physicality on film, on camera, the barely moving of her mouth, and, just the awkwardness, and then the draining of the storyline between Destiny, Sunny, and Moses. It's not anything nearly as comparable as if we were to get more of Melody Cherie, especially like in those earlier seasons. So I want to go ahead and play Melody's soundbite about the ratings, and then I will come back with my commentary.
On Saturday, this Saturday, right? So this Saturday, there should be another girls trip episode airing on at 7. What I will say is, I'm glad, like I was saying, you guys are literally the past 2 episodes, I feel like Love and Marriage Huntsville has been talked about more the past 2 episodes. And I'm not talking about the off-screen stuff. I'm not talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville in terms of the gossip, in terms of the different narratives that are told, the different lies that are clickbait told. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the show, the actual show that aired on Saturday. I have not seen it talked about that much the past 2 Saturdays. Have not seen it talked about that much, and I don't know how long. I'm talking about the show. Okay? I haven't. So what I will say is I'm super thankful for that. I remember, real talk, when I presented and said, hey, we need to do a girls trip. It needs to be a girls trip. No guys, just girls. And look what we got out of it. Look what we got out of it. Like, nobody can ever tell me that I don't know how to produce or know what is, what's gonna work, what's not. And look what we got. I'm talking about the episodes have not been talked about this much, and I don't know how. Okay? Alright, so the show, not the outside noise outside of the show, but the show. And it hasn't been talked about this much in I don't know how long. And the only difference that probably had happened in the beginning of the season, people would have been so tuned in for all of the rest of the episodes and all the rest of the season, like the viewership would have been crazy because it gets so much talk. Like even looking at the numbers and how they increased, I think I saw somebody sent me today where apparently there was one episode that the ratings were so low they didn't even get reported or didn't something. I don't know. But then you have the invite to the girls trip jumping up enough to get reported. Then after that, the viewership jumped up, I don't know, 50, 80,000, something like that. It jumped up to. And I was like, see? And if it hadn't aired this last Saturday, it would have jumped up even more. I'm like, see? Imagine if this girls trip had been in the beginning of the season, like my intuition said, and I expressed it. Maybe the viewership for the whole season would have been bomb. Would have been bomb. It would have been bomb. Everybody would have been tuned in. Everybody would have been tuned in for literally the whole first half of the season. Drink my little sip of the water. Mm-hmm. You know. So somebody said that's true. I know. Like, imagine when the show started airing, the first part of the season, if we started out with that girls trip. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It would have been insane. Like, oh my gosh. It would have been crazy. It would have been crazy. Like, the whole season would have been crazy. And anything else that you think we should do? Sean. It's cool. Pumpkin face, pumpkin lip, body oil for sure. For sure, for sure. Ooh, look at this pumpkin. It's fall. It's fall. So I wore orange today. This orange hat, right? Just because, right? We're dropping the pumpkin on TikTok today. It's fall time. It's fall time.
Okay, so I want to talk about Melody's theory about the girls' trip and the girls' trip episodes being the most talked about. And she said, had they opened up this current season with a girls' trip, it would have totally set the tone for the season 7/season 8 and just really made the show really pop versus the first half of season 7, the viewership and the ratings being very low, and then them seeing a spike once they got to the girls' trip. I definitely believe that Melody is onto something because the girls' trip gives a vibe almost like a Real Housewives. The majority of the people who watch these reality TV shows and watch Love and Marriage Huntsville are women. Most of us are grown enough to be in tune with Real Housewives. Real Housewives of Atlanta debuted in 2008. Most of us have been watching that show since season 1 in real time. So we know the art, the fun, the laughter, the shade of having a group of women congregating and spending time together and going on cast trips together. So it makes sense that definitely the girls' trip episodes would have the higher ratings and would be the most talked about, right? And I feel like in the other episodes where we saw a lot of Ken, Trisha, and Martell, Sunny, Destiny, and Moses, we were all analyzing how production has just totally dropped the ball. You know, we were talking about the awkwardness of Trisha and, this drawn out storyline with Sunny, Destiny, and Moses. And people were talking about, do we really care? This is Destiny that we're talking about. And yeah, Moses may seem like a player, but in any event, he did get married. He married Sunny. She was her producer. Okay. And I think that Carlos, because of his background with the housewives and how it all went down after season 9 of Atlanta, I don't know if he has some PTSD and he doesn't really want to focus a lot on that all female ensemble cast, but he just wants to focus on couples. But if he would admit that the majority female vibe, the majority female episodes, the majority female scenes is what's hitting, that could really help his number one show, Love and Marriage Huntsville. That could really help his bread and butter. But if he has some trauma from not, being able to remain on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and he just wants to try and create just couple related shows, that makes him kind of close-minded. And I think that he should definitely listen to the person who has the highest fan base for a show. He might want to listen to what she has to say and her ideas. So I thought that was a very interesting theory. And when I watched the video, it just made me think about the whole dynamic of housewives and how we like to see not just the fun shade, not just, some drama when things escalate, but we like to see those real stories happening to women, happening to Black women, and not just always struggle, but we like to see the success, right? Some people, they can't stand Candy from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I admire Candy, and I'm an Xscape fan, okay? I have their music. I can stream it on my phone. I got the CDs in the basement, baby. So I went to their concert this summer, all that. So I'd like to see the success stories as well. I want to be motivated. I want to be inspired. I love reality TV stars who are interactive with their fans on social media, like Melody Cherie. I like all that. So I feel like there's definitely something to be had with this girls trip theory and the ratings increasing. I have a question for those of you who are blacking out, but you tuned into the Girls Trip episodes. Were you moved to tune into those episodes because you knew we would see more of Melody Cherie? Do you too prefer to see more of that majority or all female scenes versus the couples that they're giving us for this current season? Please let me know what led you to watch the Girls Trip episodes, especially after blacking out. And for those of us who are not blacking out, we are checking out the show. Let me know, what was it for you about the Girls Trip episodes that were more exciting or more entertaining than the previous episodes that we've seen so far with this season? Now, also during Melody's TikTok live, someone said briefly in the chat, it's a shame that they tried to use the Melometers for like a storyline. And Melody is going to read their comment. She's going to read it really fast. You know how like you may see something and you just read it really fast like this? She's going to read it fast like that. And then she's going to respond while she's packing orders, of course.
Letting the transplant everything I learned. Oh, I agree. And what's interesting to me is, and we'll get into it as we're on this live. Y'all know we don't talk. What's interesting to me is that literally, is whenever people started either saying it out their mouths directly what issues they were having and from where they came, which totally contradicted what the narrative was. That kind of stuff is what was interesting to me. I'm like, now see, that's what you did for trying to make something that wasn't what it was. That's what you did for trying to make something that wasn't what it was. So, yeah, I definitely thought it was interesting to see how the truth was coming out about what was really going on versus it being a millimeter thing. No. It was some other things. It was some other situation is going on. Okay. I love the peach scrub.
Okay, so I believe, in my opinion, she was definitely speaking on Tisha and Marceau when they were trying to deflect and blame the Melometers for making phone calls or bringing any sort of negative attention to Black. When they did that scene in Black showing, the coverings over the furniture, and they admitted that, I guess they didn't go to enough church services, didn't rub enough elbows with the local church officials and political leaders, to where they got in trouble for allegedly, according to the local leaders in Huntsville, they did not pay a local tax on furniture that they bought from like Amazon and Wayfair, for the bar. That was what, according to Marceau and Tisha. But when Melody asked them, I was teaching my property preservation class in person, and my students asked me where could they hang out, and I said, definitely go to Black. And they said when they went to Black, it was closed. And Tisha said, were these your students or Melometers just trying to be nosy? And Melody said, it doesn't matter. Why is Black closed? And then, they had to start giving her all this stuff about not paying a local tax on furniture and people, finding things to complain about. So I think that it's a shame also. Melody said on another TikTok recently, it's really just foolish to make up a storyline about your largest fan base for your number one show. It's like when it comes, there's two people that I feel like we're watching like self-destruction in real time. There's Kimmy Grant Scott. I feel like we're watching her in real time, just like deny herself for Maurice. And then we're watching Carlos King like self sabotage. I don't know what that dude thinks, but he's like way off. He's like way off in what he tries to do. Like I would totally want to collaborate with the person who has the largest fan base on the show. Like if I'm watching her develop her skincare line right from level one after leaving her husband, and I'm seeing it blow up, and I'm like, okay, they're watching the show and they're buying her products, and then they all came to my podcast show, had it sell out. Maybe I need to collaborate with her and learn, what can I do? And hey, he's human. I know that we don't agree with the misogyny, but he's human. He could definitely be traumatized from not being producing over on the Bravo network. So I'm trying to give him that, you know what I'm saying? But definitely try and work with the person that it feels like to me God has sent you to totally restore, regenerate the producing career, and find out what the viewers would love to see. That's just my take, because it's very serious to see the dip in the ratings. And we don't like the gang up, we don't like the bullying. And whenever you see the bullying on the show, like people are going to speak out about it and they're not going to be pleased. For those of us who still watch Basketball Wives, nobody likes the gang up on Jackie. Please just stop it. We've seen it a little bit on Real Housewives with Drew Sidora. They kind of talk to Drew like she's a joke, like she's a kid, and she's dealing with serious issues as well. So I just feel like, Carlos, why don't you try listening to the girl who's not only got the largest fan base, but she's a producer as well. But I thank you all so much for checking out this video. Please hit the like button on this video, as it is a free way of supporting the channel. And please subscribe to Shows Style and Spirit if you have not already done so. And I hope that you all had a terrific Tuesday. It is going to be a wonderful Wednesday. Be sure to stand in the mirror, say your affirmations. If you feel funny or strange doing that, if you continue to do it, just be consistent, that awkwardness will go away. Trust me, affirmations, they make you feel good, and you could be manifesting some good, positive things in your life. And do what you have to do tonight to prepare yourself for a smooth morning so that you do not have to rush. And I will talk with you all soon. Bye.